This week on the Big Thunder podcast, we've got an update on when a classic Magic Kingdom attraction is reopening. But is the wait going to be unbearable?
Do you get it?
I get it.
Unbearable?
I get it.
And Universal unveiled their new nighttime spectacles. Dang it. I couldn't decide if I was going to say spectacles or spectacular. Spectacles. And Universal unveiled their new nighttime spectacles. And we've got some thoughts.
Speaking of thoughts, we saw Inside Out 2. Was it more of a joy or more of a sadness?
Plus, we're playing an all-new Pixar game that proves intelligence is relative, even for robots.
All that and much, much more. Buckle up.
Hey, everybody. It's time to hop aboard the Big Thunder Podcast. Wildest podcast in the wilderness. Yeehaw! And here's your hosts, Beau and Abby.
Welcome to the Big Thunder Podcast, where we round up all the buzz out of Disney and Universal and eventually play a fun but ultimately stupid game. We're your hosts, Beau
and Abby.
If you just want to jump around to the game, or if you want to stick around for some of the news, there are time codes listed below. Or if you want to jump to the Inside Out review, if that's why you clicked on this, check out the time codes. You ready for the roundup?
I'm ready.
All right. Probably the most news is going to be coming out of Universal this week. June 14th saw the opening of DreamWorks Land, as well as the first evening of their nighttime shows, CineSational, Symphonic Spectacular, and Hogwarts Always.
CineSational is hard to say.
Yes, CineSational, like cinematic cinemas. Yep.
Sensation. It's a sensation.
Yep. If you are unfamiliar with these shows, CineSational is movie music comes alive in cinematic splendor. Be swept away on a cinematic journey for your senses with stirring film scores and dancing fountains. Relive your favorite movie moments through powerful soundtracks that evoke the mystery and magic of Harry Potter, the pulse-pounding excitement of Jurassic World, and the gripping suspense of Jaws. We watched various videos. What were your thoughts?
First, all I could think about was when you said something about senses. But do they have Scentsy? Do they have the smells?
If it's missing anything, it's sponsorship with Scentsy.
Yeah. Okay. What were my thoughts? I thought it looked very fun. I think it's going to be awesome for Universal for nighttime because they didn't really have a nighttime show. Yeah. I mean, they've done stuff on Hogwarts.
And they've done stuff like this in the past. There have been Lagoon shows.
In your
experience,
this is brand new to me. So. Yeah, I think it looks very cool. I hope to see it someday.
Yeah. Do you have is there any standout moments for you?
I loved Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love that it's up for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I really did like the Trolls section that they did, and How to Train Your Dragon. I love the music. And
for me, the coolest thing was Jaws. The overall, we get a lot of little segments here and there with the drones. But there are certain films that get more emphasis and more, lagoon time. Mm-hmm. Jaws being one of them. And just the way they were able to make it a little spooky.
It was very spooky.
Yeah, it's very cool. I love the ET stuff, the monster stuff, but just that Jaws segment, something about it just felt very cool.
I was surprised they didn't go harder with dinosaurs.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised there wasn't more How to Train Your Dragon. There's some How to Train Your Dragon. I could have used a little bit more How to Train Your Dragon. But yeah, very cool. CineSational runs 22 minutes and has 228 fountains that can reach up to 131 feet.
I bet being there is even, obviously it's more impressive to be there, but it still was cool on camera, so I can only imagine what it's like in person.
Yep. Also features fireworks and over 600 drones.
The fireworks were a little weak for me.
Yeah, I would say the fireworks aren't the draw.
No, if you're looking for fireworks, that's not what it's about. The drones are cool.
Yep.
But yeah, it's more heavily about the water show.
For sure. Also Charlie is sitting here in the room, so if you do hear someone talking, that's her. And you can view CineSational in the Central Park area of Universal Studios, Florida, in between Hollywood and Springfield. CineSational runs on select nights now through August 25th.
Wow, so we are not going to be able
Most
to see
likely
it.
Not. Another show that's going at the same time, Hogwarts Always, kicked off the same night. Experience a breathtaking new show that takes you on a magical journey through a school year at Hogwarts. Enjoy unforgettable music and incredible moments of wizardry, all set against the majestic backdrop of Hogwarts Castle. So this is the Hogwarts Always projection show on the castle, features different endings on different nights, changes which house wins the House Cup. So yeah, even if you go to both shows on the same night, could have a different ending.
Yep, we watched the Mammoth Club video, and the first house that one was Ravenclaw, and the second was Slytherin.
And you always just assume it's going to be a Gryffindor, but not always. So good news for those of you who kind of identify with a different house. I find myself to be more of a Hufflepuff. You're a Slytherin. You say you're not, you are. You're a Slytherin. Lily's a Ravenclaw. I'm a Hufflepuff. It's also worth noting that both these shows end on August 25th. Universal's Halloween season kicks off August 29th.
Do you think they'll do a Halloween Horror Nights Lagoon show?
I think they do one.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I know they have in the past, and they do a kind of a horror-themed projection show for Hogwarts, like a dark arts show.
Well, those Dementors are spooky.
Yeah. We were able to see the Christmas Hogwarts projection show a couple years ago. Yeah. So, yeah, that is very good. All right. But as cool as that is, big news coming out of Magic Kingdom, if you want to share it with us.
Yep. So, the all-new Country Bear Jamboree has an opening date of July 17th.
Coming up soon.
It's an all-new act where they are going to sing Disney songs in new styles like pop country, rockabilly, and bluegrass.
Nice.
The show will also be inspired heavily by the Opry-style shows found in Nashville. If you could choose one Disney song to be covered by the Country Bears, what would it be?
That's a great question. And I have been thinking about it thoroughly, and I have decided that it's going to be Part of Your World.
Oh, okay.
I think that would be a fun. Just imagine a bunch of bears dreaming about being part of the human world.
That's sweet. I to be completely honest, I never saw this show because as people who just get to come every few years, I mean, we've been very lucky. The last couple of years we got to go several times since being a part of Mini Vacay and doing the travel advising, but I never had a draw to this. So I think we've talked in the past that like I don't love shows, and I think it's more so the fact that it's not that I don't love shows, it's just that when I'm there I would rather be doing rides than like I feel like while I'm sitting and watching a show I feel like my time would be better spent other places. And we are people who have been blessed to be able to go on these trips, more so than many people. Some people who never ever get to go. So like the cashier at Sam's Club.
Who was talking to you about wishing she could go to Disney. Yeah.
I checked out at Sam's Club yesterday and I was wearing a Disney shirt because we went and saw Inside Out 2, which we'll talk about. And she said...
Check the time codes.
She said, oh, so have you been to Disney? And I said, yeah, we love Disney. And she just made a comment that really made me, like, kind of check myself on how lucky and blessed we are, because she was like, oh, I've never been, and someday I'm going to get there. And I was just like, yes, you are. I think everyone should get to go. Yeah. Well, at least once.
So, like, obviously there are people that go there, like, daily.
Yeah.
But
some people literally their jobs. And it's not like they work for Disney, but, like, the people that go and live stream and like review and do all the things that we wish we could do.
Yeah. And not only have we been able to go there, 3 or 4 times, but we've been able to do the like extra bonus stuff like dessert parties, and I built a lightsaber and Lily built a droid, and
we've stayed at lots of different levels of resorts that like some people can't even stay on Disney property. So
yeah, and we had both of our girls did the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, and like that is a magical experience, but it takes a toll on the wallet.
But we did it in the low way. So the packages, this is like a little off topic, but to do Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, it's like several $100s per makeover. But if you take your own dress and if you like pick a different package, you can do it in a more affordable way. So. Yeah. More tips like that can be found at minnievacay.com.
Speaking of which, if any of you want to plan a trip to Orlando to check out...
is there the segue?
This is the segue. To check out the new Country Bear Jamboree, DreamWorks Land, CineSational, Hogwarts Always, the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, build a lightsaber or a droid or anything like that.
Ride Tiana's brand new ride.
The people should contact...
Mini VACAY.
Here on Big Thunder Podcast, we like to keep things as real and authentic as possible. And one hard truth is that for as amazing and magical as a trip to Disney or Universal can be, planning one can be a little intimidating and sometimes even frustrating. What are the best parks for my family? What are the best places to stay for my budget? Do I really need to wake up at 4 a.m. 2 months before my trip to book dinner reservations? It can definitely be a lot. But that's where Mini VACAY can help you. We are certified Disney and Universal travel planners who specialize in taking the hard stuff off of your plate. We love waking up at 4 a.m. for Disney stuff. And not only are our services completely free to you, but when you book a vacation package with us, we'll send you a $25 gift card. Mini VACAY is a part of Gateway to Magic Travel, an authorized Disney vacation planner and Disney earmarked agency. Check us out on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram to get the ball rolling on your next magical adventure, or you can also see all of our information at minivacay.com.
So, if someone were a big Pixar fan,
yes,
what resort would you recommend?
If they're going to,
like, let's say
Disneyland, or
if they're going to Disney World,
okay,
what resort would you recommend?
Well, Disney World Art of Animation would probably be the best choice because it has Finding Nemo, and Cars, but the other two are Disney.
Yeah,
but.
Yeah. Well, you can recommend, or you can ask for a request. You can request a room, like in a specific section, correct?
Yes. So at Art of Animation, there are 4 themes. Little Mermaid, which is your basic room. It's going to be the farthest out from the main buildings, where you'll find like your dining and the like gift shops and things like that. And then the other sections are family suites. So they are bigger. They have multiple like living spaces. So you can have like parents, if you want to like close a door and get away from your kids for a little bit. They have like an eat-in area. I think some have multiple bathrooms. I have to confirm with that, but there are Finding Nemo rooms, Lion King rooms, and Cars rooms. And they look amazing. It looks like a really fun resort. And we just had a couple clients that have visited there this year, and they loved it. So
yeah, we were able to see it a little bit when we took our Skyliner ride.
Well, yeah,
we took on one of our off days when we decided we were gonna take a little journey on the Skyliner. We stopped over and walked past Art of Animation.
We did all Disney transportation.
Yeah,
we did boats and Sky and buses. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And
if you're a Toy Story fan, we stayed in the Toy Story section of All-Star Movies.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Duh. That would be a big...
Don't say duh. That is rude.
Sorry. All-Star Movies has Toy Story.
Yeah.
Which is the Pixar movie. And that's why we stayed there.
Yeah, they have like a 200-foot tall Woody, 200-foot tall Buzz, and
so cool.
Charlie got her picture taken riding in RC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was really fun.
But obviously, Disneyland has the new Pixar hotel.
Yeah, Disneyland has an entire Pixar hotel called Pixar Place, and it's a bucket list. It looks a lot of fun. Specifically, the frickin' fire pits. I just want to go. They like themed all the fire pits based off characters that have something to do with fire. So like Anger from Inside Out, his like head's the fire pit. You can
roast marshmallows at Anger's fire pit.
Cute.
Yeah,
so cute.
Speaking of Pixar, I've got a little Pixar mini game to get you warmed up.
Okay.
Okay, before we get into the real
Someday I'm going to have more time and I'm going to make a game for you.
I would love
Are you getting bored of like me not knowing things?
No, I'm starting to... I feel like I've been tailoring games to your strengths lately.
Oh.
Okay, so the internet is full of lists ranking the best Pixar characters. They're all wild and all different because they're all subjective. Right. Everyone has their own opinion. But I was able to find one that if you look at the top 5 on the list, I don't think anyone would put up too much of a fight.
Okay.
This is from the sports and entertainment site Yardbarker, who recently put up an article ranking the top 25 best Pixar characters of all time. Who do you think are in the top 5? And I'll give you 5 guesses.
Based on their, like, overall character?
Just
like,
best.
The goodness or, like, most popular?
It's just best.
Okay.
Don't
And we're
overthink
doing
it too much.
Pixar
characters.
Joy.
Okay.
Buzz.
Okay.
Sully.
Okay. You get 2 more.
Are they, like, most popular for folks? Or, like, overall good character?
Just best. Best can mean so many things.
Okay. I'll do Woody. And Nemo.
Okay. So.
Okay. Sorry, Joy.
You're fine. Joy was not on the list.
Okay.
Now,
that's surprising.
look, this list is very wild because there were no Inside Out characters on here.
Okay.
Okay. So Joy was not on the list. Nemo was number 20 on the list, so not in the top 5. Sully's number 13.
Okay.
So not in the top 5. You got 2 correct. So here's
Buzz and Woody.
Here's your top 5. Number 5, Mr. Incredible. I get it. Number 4, Merida.
I didn't realize she was Pixar.
Brave is a Pixar movie.
I didn't realize.
It's their only like princess
movie?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize.
Number 3 is Buzz.
Okay.
Number 2 is Remy.
Okay.
And number 1 is Woody.
Yeah. Woody's kind of not. That's why I kept asking about, is he a good person? Like
Sure.
a good character? Because Woody's kind of
Woody
terrible.
in the first one is.
Yeah.
As in 2, 3, and 4,
He
he's
has
a
some
much
character
better
development.
character.
But
Yes.
yeah, he's really mean. In
Right,
the first one.
Well, he was supposed to be a lot meaner.
I know. When you showed me those clips of like his original character, like that.
That was when Jeffrey Katzenberg was in charge, and it's always Jeffrey Katzenberg. He's the guy, like, anytime you ever hear, like, he did a lot of great things for Disney, don't get me wrong, but, like, anytime you hear of, like, this one Disney exec wanted to make a terrible choice for this film, it's always Jeffrey Katzenberg.
Yeah.
And he wanted, like, a mean, cynical Toy Story, and then they did, like, some animations and had some animatics, and it was hated, and they almost scrapped it. They almost trashed Toy Story until finally Pixar was like, let us, like, try out the version we want to make, and we'll see if you like it any better. And they did.
Thank God they did.
Yeah.
Imagine a world without Toy Story. Because there'd be, like, no Pixar.
Yeah, it's interesting knowing that, and then knowing that Katzenberg left to go kind of do DreamWorks animation, and his next big movie was Shrek, which, if you see Shrek, there is a lot of, like, anti-Disney in it, and it is a little more cynical, a little edgier than you would find it.
It's probably why Shrek is not my favorite.
Probably. There, you probably do have like a Disney bias against
There's, like,
it.
undertones in it that, like, make me, like, not like it
Yeah.
so much.
Okay, now that you're nice and warmed up,
Okay.
it's time for the real game.
Cool.
So today we're going to be playing a game that uses some controversial technology. Abby, how do you feel about AI?
I'm scared of AI a little bit.
As you should be.
I just read a story on Friday that said, like, they're predicting AI to wipe out, like, the world in 100 years.
Yeah. It's the most plausible. I've thought for years it's the most plausible apocalypse. It's not zombies. It's not monkeys. It's AI that will get us.
Yeah.
It's the Terminator or the Matrix.
Yeah. I also saw a funny thing a while ago that said, I don't want AI to, like, take over art and, like, music and movies. I want AI to do my dishes so I can go make art and
Exactly.
music and
I
dishes.
have that note right here.
Yeah.
So yeah, as a creator,
Okay.
I hate as a creator.
You are a creator.
But-
You make Look at all this. Look at all
She's
the things.
for the non-YouTube audience.
I don't
She's
know how to
pointing
do
to all my
this.
awards that are above her head.
Man, no wonder when people are like, watch the video, I'll link it in the cards. They have no idea where they're pointing because it's like...
Yeah. But anyways, it just feels weird to call myself like a creator or an artist. It's just pretentious.
What are we
sounding.
um, doing right now?
I get it.
Okay.
It's just weird. Anyways, I hate that it's being used to kind of take away opportunities from, like, actual artists.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as you said, like, it's supposed to take away the terrible parts of your day and leave you time to make art.
Right.
But I also understand like AI is the direction that the world is moving, and it's kind of like trying to fight the calculator, like it's being used as a tool. But I will say this: I've never used AI and not had to edit it. Like,
it's not perfect.
It is definitely not perfect. It never comes out right, and often it comes out bad, which is what brings us to today's game.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we are calling this game Artificial Ineptitude.
Okay.
As of recording, Pixar has released 28 feature-length films.
Wow.
Yeah. I have taken the plot summaries of 15 of them and asked AI to generate new titles.
Okay.
It is up to you to determine what film the AI is renaming.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
You need to guess 11 of these correctly in order to win the game.
Okay.
Okay. I've pulled these summaries from IMDb, the Internet Movie Database. After you've moved on from the title, I will give you the prompt. I will tell you the synopsis that I typed in.
Okay.
Some of these are going to be easier than others. Some of these are going to be funnier than others. Some of these are very vague.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Number 1. Blaze and Stream, a urban tale. Notice it's not an urban tale, it's a urban tale. Because it's AI. Blaze and Stream.
Is it elemental?
It is elemental, correct.
Just because it was fire and water.
Yeah. Follows Ember and Wade in a city where fire, water, earth, and air residents live together.
Okay.
Blaze and Stream, a urban tale. Next movie.
Okay.
The Last Cleanup.
WALL-E.
That is correct.
Okay.
In the distant future, a small waste-collecting robot inadvertently embarks on a space journey that will ultimately decide the fate of mankind. WALL-E.
We get closer and closer to WALL-E every day.
Oh, yeah. I think you'll be pretty good at this. Starting off strong.
Don't jinx me. Don't drink.
This is one of my favorite ones. Homeward Bound, underwater.
Homeward Bound, underwater?
Yep.
Finding Nemo?
That is correct.
Is it like Homeward Bound with the animals and they got
the
lost?
Incredible Journey.
But then they're just like, but it's underwater. Okay.
After his son is captured in the Great Barrier Reef and taken to Sydney, a timid clownfish sets out on a journey to bring him home. This is going to be a harder one.
Okay.
I think. Number 4, Race to Realization.
Well, my first thought was Cars, but that you said it's harder.
Or maybe it's not harder.
Cars?
That is correct.
Oh. Okay.
Race to Realization. That's what's going to get the kids in the seats. On the way to the biggest race of his life, a hotshot rookie race car gets stranded in a rundown town and learns that winning isn't everything in life. Number 5, another one of my favorites. Adolescent Alterations.
Adolescent Alterations?
Adolescent Alterations. I do love a good alliteration.
Kids fixing. Kids sewing. Kids that make things. Adolescent alterations?
Yep.
I don't know. Is there a hint?
No.
I don't want to not win. Hold on.
Okay.
Adolescent alterations. I just keep thinking of like Cinderella, but obviously that's wrong.
I'm going to give you 10 seconds. We got to move on.
Frack, I don't know. I can't think of anything.
That's the end. You don't get this one.
What is it?
A 13-year-old girl named Mei Lee is torn between staying for her mother's dutiful daughter and the changes of adolescence.
No.
And as if the challenges were not enough, whenever she gets overly excited, she transforms into a giant red panda.
No.
What do you mean, no?
That's wrong. That's not even close.
Should we move on?
I'm going to pout for a second.
Okay. Next AI-generated title. Quiet Life, Heroic Deeds.
Incredibles?
That is correct. While trying to lead a quiet suburban life, a family of undercover superheroes are forced into action to save the world. Next one. Beyond the Closet Door.
Monsters, Inc.?
That's right. In order to power the city, monsters have to scare children so that they scream. However, the children are toxic to the monsters, and after a child gets through, 2 monsters realize things may not be what they think.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. Next, AI-generated movie title, Brotherly Magic.
Oh. Onward?
It is Onward.
I could not think. I kept thinking Brother Bear. And I was like, oh no. Oh no.
It is the movie that Charlie is currently watching.
Brain
in
don't
the corner.
fail me.
In a magical world full of technological advances, elven brothers Ian and Barley Lightfoot set out on an adventure to resurrect their late father for a day. It's worth noting that none of these are good titles.
No, they're very bad.
Okay. I know we're having fun with them. I know I say some of them are my favorite. But they are all bad.
They are all bad.
Next film, The Toy Collector Heist.
Toy Story 2?
That's right. Toy Story 2. When Woody is stolen by a toy collector, Buzz and his friends set out on a rescue mission to save Woody before he becomes a museum toy property with his Roundup gang, Jessie, Prospector, and Bullseye. Doing great. We've got 6 more.
And I have to get how many to win?
You have to get 11 correct total to win.
Can I just point out that I went a little heavy on the dry shampoo and I'm not turning gray?
Okay. Another reason for those of you audio listeners to tune into the YouTube.
Things accidentally happened. Okay.
Next AI-generated title, The Rhythm of Ancestry.
I feel like it's Soul, but...
Is Soul your guess?
No. Songs and... Wait, is Encanto? Encanto's not Pixar, is it?
What
No.
is that your guess?
No!
Okay.
Soul.
Soul's your guess? Mm-hmm. It is not Soul.
Wow, what is it?
Aspiring musician Miguel, confronted with his family's ancestral ban on music, enters the land of the dead to find his great-great-grandfather, a legendary singer.
I knew it wasn't Soul. I wasn't confident. I should have just thought a little bit more.
The answer is Coco.
Coco's
Coco.
so good.
Okay.
Remember when we wouldn't watch Coco because it was too sad?
I still haven't watched it front to back.
The more you watch it, the less sad it is.
Not if you've got a heart.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's why I'm a Slytherin.
All right, next film. Coastal Companions. Coastal Companions.
Friends. Water. Beach. Luca?
It is Luca. You made me nervous there for a second, but you got there.
It's like the Michael Scott way of doing it.
Yep. On the Italian Riviera, an unlikely but strong friendship grows between a human being and a sea monster disguised as a human. 2 sea monsters
Luca's
disguised as
good.
humans. Yeah.
I always forget Luca's Pixar Disney.
Yeah, it's one of those. It came out during the time of 2020, so people kind of forget. And because it was straight to Disney Plus, I think people just kind of assume it's not as good as the other Pixar's, but it is pretty solid.
They should do more. Like they should try to like re-release it or something.
They did put those 3 that went straight to Disney
right.
Plus. They did re-release them in theaters.
Well, the problem is
They didn't really promote it that heavily, though.
and theaters are expensive right now.
They are very expensive. All right.
Okay.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
I think let's see.
Don't tell me where I'm at.
You don't want to know where you're at?
No.
Okay, we'll figure that out at the end.
I have enough pressure as is.
I get it. Next film, Buddies in Training. Buddies in Training.
What?
Buddies in Training.
Friends. Learning. Friends. Well, I feel like it's Monsters, Inc. again, but we already did that.
We did do Monsters, Inc.
Monsters University.
That is correct.
I forget about the sequel. Also, it's not very good.
Prequel.
It's not very good.
A look at the relationship between Mike Wazowski and James P. Sully Sullivan during their days at Monsters University, when they weren't necessarily the best of friends. Next AI-generated title. Oh, this is also one of my favorites.
Okay.
Whiskers and Whisks.
Is it Ratatouille?
A rat who can cook makes an unusual alliance with a young kitchen worker at a famous Paris restaurant.
God, I love Ratatouille.
Yeah.
I love I love, love, love. And Epcot, I love France.
Yeah.
I love that whole area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's go to Epcot.
2 left.
Okay.
Okay. The Mind's Metropolis.
Minds?
The Mind's
Minds?
Metropolis.
Zootopia? No.
Is that your guess?
No?
Do you know in some countries it's called Zoopolis?
Yeah. We got very confused. Liz and I, one time, because I think on Disney Plus they had it listed as Zoopolis. Mm. And then I was like, what is this? And we were like, is it like
a Mandela effect kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they just put it in wrong.
Yeah.
Or we were saying it wrong. Frack. Say it again.
The Mind's Metropolis.
Thinking smart city smart college city. The minds. Is it Meet the Robinsons?
Is that your answer?
Yes.
I cannot believe you got that one wrong.
What is it?
I cannot believe you got that
What
wrong.
is it?
After young Riley is uprooted from her Midwest life and moved to San Francisco, her emotions, joy, fear, anger, disgust, and sadness conflict on how best to navigate a new city, house, and school.
To be fair, that one was hard. Mine's Metropolis. I kept thinking about, like, big cities.
Yeah. We did a whole episode on Inside Out last week. We just watched Inside Out 2. Inside Out has been on repeat in this house.
It didn't sound like Inside Out.
And
there was nothing about emotions. There was nothing about feelings. There was nothing about things.
And Meet the Robinsons is not a Pixar film.
Just Disney.
Yeah.
It's so hard to know sometimes. That is such a good movie, though.
Oh, yeah. Don't sleep on Meet the Robinsons either.
Makes me cry every time.
Okay. The final title, I saved it for last, not because it's hard, but because it made me laugh the hardest.
Okay.
Again, reiterating, these are not good titles. This is so bad that I cackled. The final AI-generated title for this game. Flight of the Elders.
Is it Up?
It is Up.
Flight of the Elders. Oh my god, that's awful.
78-year-old Carl Fredrickson travels to Paradise Falls in his house, equipped with balloons, inadvertently taking a young stowaway.
Poor Carl. Carl would not like that. He would not like being called an elder. First of all, you're not supposed to say that.
Is that
elderly is a term that is
antiquated?
Yeah.
We don't say elderly anymore.
You say older person.
Okay.
Or a person who
is
older.
Seasoned.
Wow. Yeah, like a cast iron skillet.
Yep.
You don't wash them.
All right. So I said you needed 11 to win the game.
And I got
12. Hooray! You win. 12 is a bigger number.
It is. I was like confused at first. I was like, wait a second. Did I get 101%? Did I get extra credit?
So yeah, 12 right.
And I win.
You never win anything.
Yes, I do.
One positive thing I will say about AI and why I continue to use it is that it almost works as an ideation exercise where it's like a bad brainstorming session.
Oh, sure.
Where, like, once you see all the bad ideas, then it's easier for you to find a good one.
It is true. Getting started is the hardest part, I think, of a lot of things.
Yeah. And speaking of good stuff, we saw Inside Out 2.
We did.
First, let's talk non-spoilers, and then we'll do spoilers. If you haven't seen Inside Out 2 and don't want to be spoiled, make sure you check the time codes in the description.
Okay.
So, without spoilers, what is the story of Inside Out 2?
Without spoilers?
Yeah, without spoilers.
Riley hits the puberty age.
13.
And she gets new emotions that are introduced into headquarters.
Yep.
With the original emotions. And she goes away to camp
Yep, a hockey camp.
Well, I didn't know if that was too much.
I think it's okay to say it's a hockey camp.
She goes away to a hockey camp and has to figure out how her old life and her new life are going to work together going forward.
Yeah, how she manages her relationships with her current friends and then meeting new
high school friends.
So, yeah. What did you think? What were your thoughts?
I thought it was really good. There were a couple times where I was like, who is this movie for?
Sure, I get that.
Because, so we have an almost 13-year-old. Mm-hmm. We also have an almost 5-year-old. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it's very interesting to me that this is going to hold little kids' attention because it's so heavily story.
Yeah.
And like mature themes. Mm-hmm. Not like super mature, but mature-ish.
Yeah.
But she loved it, and she was entertained.
The 5-year-old.
Yeah, she was entertained the whole time.
Yeah.
And I think Lily liked it.
Yeah.
We haven't really, discussed a lot of it. And then, as a mom, I really liked it for different reasons. And someone who has mental health.
Yeah, I think we'll talk more about that in spoilers.
Yeah, so, I am someone that I have an anxiety diagnosis among some specific things when it comes to anxiety, and so having anxiety as a character introduced, a lot of it was I don't know, so but
I think it's anytime they do a sequel to a Pixar movie, you always get nervous because they're so good at doing original stories. Is this movie just going to feel like a cash grab? Like
Toy Story 4?
Yeah, I mean, I don't 100% agree with that because I will defend Toy Story 4.
I know a lot of people like it. I don't love it,
but I would say Toy Story 4 and the upcoming Toy Story 5
and Monsters University.
Yeah.
I didn't
need Finding Dory.
No,
but I would say Inside Out 2 isn't like that.
No.
I feel like it's a genuinely great story that adds to the first one.
Honestly, I don't even think you'd need to see the first one to see the second one.
No, I don't. I don't either.
Understand everything and know what's going on. And,
but it doesn't tarnish the first one's legacy.
Oh no, it's just a different stage of life.
Yeah, I genuinely think of when they talk about movies that are what's one that's better than the original or just as good as the original. You could say Inside Out 2.
I don't know that it's better than the original. I would say just as good. For me, it's not better. Yeah. But for you, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm trying hard. It's hard to not talk spoilers.
We can just go into that section if you'd like.
Let's just jump into spoilers. Okay. One thing that I loved about it is that anxiety is I would say it's the antagonist of the movie, but she never feels like the villain because she they gave her a great motivation and how she is trying to keep Riley safe. And you can understand where she's coming from. And she, as we learned in the first Inside Out, all emotions are valid. All emotions have a place in development, and anxiety is one of them. And the message of the movie, what I was concerned about was is the message of this movie going to be, we need to stop anxiety? Or it's and I'm glad it's not, because it is more of we need to manage anxiety.
Yes, because you can't stop emotions.
Yeah.
If you could, I would have. Years ago, I would have done anything to. So, yeah. The part that got me and made me cry, and I will talk with my therapist about, was the part where they were our job as emotions aren't to control who she is. She has to be who she is, and we're just here.
Yeah.
We don't run her life.
Yeah.
So when anxiety creates the panic attack, where she's spinning around the desk and she can't be stopped and she's frozen, and Joy has to go intervene, that was good.
Yeah. And that's Joy's kind of arc throughout the movie is learning that she can't control who Riley is.
And Riley can't always be happy.
Yeah.
Another that line,
I was just gonna bring that up.
So there's a part in it, it's It's the, what do you call it in the movie?
The all is lost.
Yeah.
Is, in screenwriting terms.
So the characters are off trying to collect like Riley's personality, like her core values,
her sense of self,
that anxiety threw away. And when Joy feels like there's nothing they can do, and she has this like moment where she's like, maybe part of growing up is just like not having joy anymore. And it's just like, oh
yeah, it's like maybe when you get older you have less joy.
Just so much tears. And then like her realizing that that's not the case. It's just when you do get older, there's so many more things that you understand and that you aren't as happy as you were when you were like 5.
Yeah. So yeah, do you think, as a person who has to manage anxiety and has like read books and books and books on anxiety and, the steps you have taken to manage yours, do you feel like this hits differently than like, I don't know, an average person?
Well, did you cry?
Did I cry? I cried more at the first one than this one.
Because that's about depression.
Well, yeah, maybe.
The first one is about depression. So for me, it hit me so much when they all came together and they hugged Riley. Yeah. Like as much as they could ever touch or get close to Riley, it was like that pedestal where her sense of self was. And when all the emotions came and they hugged her, it was just like this like moment of like, we love you and we're here for you. Yeah. Like that really got me. And I think it's because a lot of my anxiety really is that character. It's like planning ahead what could go wrong, thinking about the worst case scenario.
All the worst case scenarios. So that
you can like control it and stop it. And so seeing her like that, like her like knowing that like little anxiety was just trying to help, but she just got too out of control. That was like, that's it. Like, it's so interesting. So a really good book my therapist had us get and read to Charlie, who shows some signs of anxiety, because I think my anxiety is something that has come generationally. It's like, it is in me. I'm sure my cousins and family all have it. It just manifests differently in people. And the book is like about the amygdala and like making the amygdala a character and like talking to it. And so seeing it in Inside Out as like a character, I just think will help so many kids and like parents. Yeah. And like for Inside Out, the first Inside Out, I think that was really good at describing like depression and like that you just get to a point where all of your emotions, they don't know what to do. Yeah. So it's kind of like that again. And I think it was really good. And I'm sure for people who have mental health issues, I hate saying mental health issues, just people who maybe have dysregulation more, neurodivergence, things like that. I think it's just a good visual for people, for kids to be able to see, because there's probably kids like, in preschool, Charlie had little kids who have neurodivergent or like different things. Yeah. And it's like, it helps them see and like put together like, oh, their brain's doing something. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. I think the film does a great job of like explaining what anxiety is, and in the sense that it's just like it's planning for all possible outcomes, and like trying to plan for the future in any possible scenario, and it shows how that can be a good thing and a bad thing. Like there's a part in the film where Joy gets Riley into trouble. It's early in the film, but like it's anxiety who is able to like put her on the right path to like, you do need to worry and plan a little bit. Yeah. But it's just when, the anxiety gets a little out of control that it becomes an issue.
Right. And I think that's a nice thing about the growing up aspect of Riley in this too, is that Joy just always wants to take over, and like showing that there are times when you have to be like serious or be, not on Goofball Island. Yeah. Oh, and then when Family Island, so the islands, they're such a big part of
Riley's
personality. And in this one, Family Island is like dark and so tiny next to Friend Island. And it's like, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I remember that.
13.
And like, we see that with Lily.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just like, and then when Riley's mom just like, is like, hi, good morning. And Riley just like, don't talk to me. And it's just like, luckily we have that more with her than we do with Lily, but
more with our 5-year-old.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Okay. So, would you recommend this movie?
I would recommend this movie because, well, like I said, there were a couple parts where I was watching it where I was like, I don't know if like the colors are there and the characters are there, and like Charlie's been watching Inside Out for like 3 weeks, like every day. So she's really attached to the characters. But I don't know if like it was the first time her being introduced to it, if she would have liked it as much.
Sure.
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'll put it this way. Like, she never got out of her seat.
No.
And she, a lot of movies she will try to get up and she'll try and walk around a little bit, or she'll like hop between seats, or like she needs to sit on people's laps.
Maybe it's because we didn't give her Oreos this time though.
Oh yeah, there's also that. We didn't let her get
normally she gets the little bag of Oreos. Yeah. So
there's also that. Now she was flipping and flopping in her seat a little bit. Like there'd be times when I'd see she'd flipped and her feet were up in the air.
Yeah.
And I know she was snuggling with Lily in parts.
Yeah. It's a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think if you are someone who has seen the first one, definitely see it. I think if you haven't seen the first one, but like, you just want like a feel good movie, see it. I think if you have like preteens, really see it. Yeah. And if you have mental health issues, especially like anxiety issues, you should definitely see it.
Okay, so I'm introducing our new movie scale for whenever we do these reviews.
Oh, okay.
There's 3 categories. I want you to put it in one of these categories. You ready? Okay. This will probably change. I don't know if we'll stick to this, but as of now, this is what our movie rating scale is.
Okay.
Is it a see it in the theater? Is it a wait for streaming? Or is it a not for me?
I think it's a see it in the theater.
I would agree. It's a see it in the theater.
Because I think a lot of that, too, is so our worst nightmare happened and we had to sit by people at the theater because it was super packed.
Yeah.
And the people I was sitting next to, I think it was parents and an older daughter. And before the movie, they were like talking about really heavy stuff going on in our community. And I was just like, okay, this is like...
Oh, I didn't hear any of that.
Oh, well, I did. And I was just like, okay, this is like real heavy conversation for like read the room where we are.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, I heard like the older daughter say like, I feel really seen right now. Like, I feel like I need to go, like, have a minute. Yeah. And it was just kind of like...
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'd agree. See it in the theater.
Yeah. It was good.
Okay. All right. So next week, I think we're going to be doing a Disney dining episode. We haven't talked about food in a while.
I love Disney dining.
So, yeah, I think we're going to do some food stuff next week.
Cool. Well, that is it for today. So if you're enjoying the show, please go to your podcast player of choice and click follow, and then turn on automatic downloads.
Yep, not only will this help the podcast, but it will guarantee that you have the best listening experience possible.
And if you happen to be listening on Apple Podcasts, please write a 5-star review, and we might read it on the show.
Yep. Make sure you follow Big Thunder Pod on Instagram and subscribe on YouTube.
And if you're here watching on YouTube, please just give it a like and just comment your favorite emotion from Inside Out. And then we'll see if everybody agrees.
Yep.
Okay, thanks for coming. We'll see you next week.
Enjoy the ride.